are a river city, a bold city, the First Coast, a place to create and to belong. Here, the sun shines a little brighter, and so do the people. We share a love for our region, a pride for Jax, and a passion for the beautiful game, dedicated to giving everyone a sporting chance. Together, we will elevate soccer and sport in our community by lifting every voice. We are Sporting Club Jacksonville. We are Sporting Jax.
Hello and welcome into the Sporting Jax Report. I'm Cole Pepper. Coming up, a pair of big announcements for the preseason for Sporting Jax. Plus, we have a goalkeeper coach as we meet the newest addition to the staff. And how things are coming along at UNF as Hodges Stadium begins its facelift. But let's start with the USL Super League, where for the first time in history, we have a champion. After a first season full of lessons for the future, it came down to a pair of Florida teams playing for the present. The USL Super League's first champion would reside in the Sunshine State, but would it be the Tampa Bay Sun, who won more home games than anyone in the league this season, or Fort Lauderdale United, who upset the top seed Carolina to earn a spot in the finals? To a sold-out Riverfront Stadium we go. It was a great scene to see the first ever Super League final, and these two rivals who played close games throughout the entire year would do it once again in this one. Early on, a few opportunities. Cecilia Flew with the option there, puts it just wide. Tampa Bay had the best of it for the most part in this game, really dominated in opportunities, if not possession. Got the sense that both teams were feeling a little tight in the early stages. Second half now, look at this, an opportunity for Tampa Bay to go ahead, but the flag is up, offside the call, very close. This was a tight one. But the opportunity there for Tampa Bay wiped away by the offside flag. Now on to extra time. Fort Lauderdale, rather in stoppage time, trying to find a way to get a last chance. We would go to extra time. And here's where Sidney Nacello went to work. Nacello centers one in, and Flew puts it away. In the 100th minute, the goal for Tampa Bay. And the fans of the Sun celebrating. Take another look. This is a great bit of dribbling here by the eventual finals MVP, Sidney Nacello. Cecilia Flew puts it away. These two have been powering the team most of the way. So Fort Lauderdale trying to find an opportunity. This one really the last best chance. Addie McCain can't quite get her foot to it. Only one shot on target for Fort Lauderdale all game long. A lot of near chances like this one, but they couldn't find the net. The whistle blows at the end of extra time. The Tampa Bay Sun rising to the top of the USL Super League, the first champions in league history.
I really did believe we were going to win. I mean, it was pretty stressful throughout the game because I think we had 10 corner kicks. And I mean, I'm just going to publicly apologize for corner kicks because there's nothing I can do about it. But we had so many, and definitely felt like that was going to, something was going to fall for us. And I knew that we had the depth. We had, it wasn't just the starting 11 that was good. We had the depth as well. And I feel like they stepped up and did really well too.
Yeah, there's always more in the tank. And we're feeding off of each other, going 50-50 tackle is really hard, just providing that burst of energy for each other. And when you have that many chances and one hasn't fallen in, it really is bound to happen. And we just didn't take our foot off the gas. It was all gas, no brakes. So until we got that one, then we could lock in after that. So we had it coming.
Well, we now welcome in Becky Burley. Becky, Tampa Bay outplayed Fort Lauderdale 6 shots on goal to 1. Tampa had 11 corners, Fort Lauderdale just 5. Maybe should have won it in regulation, but Tampa got it done in extra time.
Yeah, I had to predict that Tampa Bay was going to come out on top on that. I think Fort Lauderdale was a surprise to be in the final. But, that's why we play the game, and you never know. And Fort Lauderdale certainly had a fighting chance once they got there. But Tampa just, I think, out-talented Fort Lauderdale a little bit in that match and overall, and I think was a deserving winner.
Yeah, agreed. Also this week, the league announced the Player of the Year, and it's a name we've brought up a lot. Spokane's Amina Ekic was terrific. Led the league in goal contributions. She was born in Louisville, but has played for the Bosnian national team. She is so good on set pieces and corner kicks. Certainly a fitting winner of the first Player of the Year award.
Yeah, I think we called that, Cole. You and I, and with no insider information, we called that. But as certainly a deserving player. I thought she did it all for them. You're right. She was a free kick specialist, but she was so much more than that too. I thought she was just the engine of that team. She ran it. From what I hear too, she was a great leader. And so when you have the total package, it's really great to see that kind of rewarded with that postseason honor.
All right, let's talk about what lessons were learned from the first year in the USL Super League. Going through the cycle, all the games have now been played. What do you think were the big takeaways?
You know, I think one of the biggest ones from the beginning was when teams were starting, having their whole team intact from the beginning was really important, because you saw like Tampa, who had some, stops and starts with players with visas and issues getting over here if they were internationals. And that doesn't help you have any kind of cohesion from the start. But then by the end of the season, they had that because those players were now in place. And so it's like, how do you find the balance between getting the best player that you possibly can, but also their availability being quite immediate? I think the other thing we still probably have to think about is, Carolina, would they do things a little bit differently, knowing that they clinched so early and then not making the final? And who knows? I mean, hindsight's 2020. You can second guess all of that, but it certainly seemed like they were a team that was destined for the final and sort of lost a little steam towards the end because they had clinched so early, and maybe we're doing a little bit of lineup rotation.
Let's now hear from the president of the USL Super League, Amanda Vandervoort. She was at the game, of course, and I asked her about the atmosphere and the game itself, and looking ahead to Sporting Jax joining the league in August.
Yeah, Cole, I don't think that we ever in this sport can be fully prepared for everything that comes, because soccer is so dynamic and it's evolving and changing every day. So yeah, I'm lucky to be in this position, and we collectively at the league are learning every day about, how to build the best women's professional soccer league out there. And so, things we learned, I think when you launch a new league, it's about getting it in front of as many people as possible, building awareness of the club, making sure the people in each of our cities know that we've, now got professional women's soccer in their hometowns, and they can come out to cheer on their professional teams, week in and week out. And I think raising awareness is probably one of the things that I learned throughout this season. Like, I've done a lot of podcasts and a lot of interviews, as have our players and our clubs, just trying to spread the great word about professional women's soccer, and that there is now the option closer to home. People are really excited about Sporting Jax. It's been, I think the way the club has presented itself from the beginning, the ambition of Sporting Jax, the brand reveal event. I mean, I was there. I remember how magnificent it was. I think the stadium, the environment, everything that the club has done to date has been like first rate, and that has resonated across the league. And I hear people are asking about your club or about Sporting Jax all the time, and it's cool to be so proud to relay back to them that what they're seeing is really what's going on behind the scenes, and that Sporting Jax is setting itself up for incredible success.
Well, here are some key dates to know about in the USL Super League. Training camp opens on July 8th for Sporting Jax. That means there'll be less than a month of training before the preseason begins. The first preseason match going to be around August the 2nd. We look forward to an announcement about that opponent and more coming up in the next week or so. The regular season kicks off on August the 23rd. DC Power will be the first game, allowing the Sporting Jax family to start at home. Then the following week, they're on the road against the defending champion, Tampa Bay Sun. Now to the USL Championship game of the week, and just as a Tampa team faced a South Florida team in the USL Super League, same thing here for our game of the week. In this case, the Tampa Bay Rowdies and Miami FC. Both teams have had slow starts to the season as they matched up in Tampa. To Al Lang Stadium we go. How slow of a start has Tampa had? Only one win coming in to this one. By the way, it came against Miami FC. Miami gets on the board first. 42nd minute. Francisco Bonfilio makes it a 1-0 Miami lead, his 7th goal of the season. Second half, Tampa equalizes. 74th minute, Lewis Hilton feeding to Aaron Guillen, and Guillen puts it away. We are level. This one looked like it was destined for a draw, but in second half stoppage time, watch this one get pinged back and forth all the way across the box. Hilton gets it here, sends it in, and Manuel Arteaga is there to put it away. Tampa Bay wins just their second victory of the season, a 2-1 final. Both wins have come against their rivals from Miami. Let's now welcome in Mauricio Ruiz. Mal, also a lot than just a little bit of interest anytime two Florida teams meet for us here in Jacksonville. Tampa Bay needed a result in the worst way, and they got it.
Certainly did, and there's no better way to get your first home win of the season. I mean, it's crazy that we're talking about Tampa Bay Rowdies 12 games in at a place that typically is a fortress for them and not be able to get their first win of the season until 12 games in. So they needed it. They started down on the count, Cole. Miami, off of a terrible mistake by Rowdy's goalkeeper, was able to capitalize. But off of two set pieces, the second one being a second phase one, Rowdy's got a very, very, very much needed win to kind of get themselves back into the win column in a pretty disappointing season that they're having so far.
It has been for sure. Let's take a look at the standings starting in the Western Conference. New Mexico United, despite not getting a win in their last two outings, still atop the table. They have a 1-point lead on Tulsa. Tulsa unbeaten in their last 5. San Antonio, and then watch out for Phoenix Rising. 4 wins and a draw in their last 5. They're up to a 4th place tie along with El Paso Locomotive. That's a team to watch as the season plays out. In the Eastern Conference, Lou City still on top. They've won 4 straight, starting to get a little bit of elbow room, a 3-point edge on Charleston Battery, who lost last week. Loudoun United continues to be one of the stories of the year, and North Carolina FC, very solid there, just hanging there at 4th place. You see Tampa Bay off the bottom of the pile, surging past Hartford Athletic by 2 points after their second win of the season. We have an update on some upgrades taking place at Hodges Stadium, where Sporting Jax will play the inaugural season. Last week, representatives from Haskell made a $30,000 donation to the project. Future plans for Hodges Stadium include a club section and seat backs in some areas, improved concourses, even a new locker room building, and maybe even shade for the stands in the future. The surface is also getting a facelift. You see some of the renderings here. New irrigation coming in, and in the not too distant future, Hodges Stadium is going to look like a very different place.
Obviously, we have a big vision for Hodges Stadium, not just when we host Sporting Jax in the first ever professional women's soccer program, but where we want to take it from there. We want to host more. We want to just continue to elevate what we already do for the city, the economic impact we generate through track and field alone. Now we're adding professional soccer, and to me, that's just the start of what we can do for the city.
We have a core group of subcontract and vendor partners that we work with a lot, and periodically we try to get them out and do some team building and raise some money, and this was the output of the one that we did earlier this year. It was called A Real Good Cause. It's a local one of our team members named Ryan put it together. He's in pre-construction and was super pumped to choose St. Jude's and UNF to benefit from whatever we raised, and so yeah, this is what we came up with.
Season tickets for Sporting Jax inaugural season in the USL Super League are on sale now. Started just $10 per game for students and go up to the field seats and premium hospitality. You can pay for your season tickets with an interest-free installment plan. Get all the benefits of season ticket ownership from your first payment. Be a part of the first professional women's team in Jacksonville. Go to sportingjax.com or call 904-863-KICK to join the movement. Still to come, a new addition to the coaching staff. We'll introduce you to our new goalkeepers coach. That's next as the Sporting Jax Report rolls on. Make your plans to join us for the final watch party of the summer. We'll be at Culhane's Irish Pub at Tinseltown for the U.S. Women's National Team matchup against Ireland on Sunday, June 29th. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff, but get there early. We'll have prizes and giveaways, and we'll catch the top-ranked women's team in the world in action. We will see you there. It has been a busy week for Sporting Jax. A lot of things going on this past week. Also among the activity, the team added a goalkeeper coach. Matt Cosgriff comes to Jacksonville from SMU, where he spent 11 seasons. Before SMU, he was the goalkeeper coach and assistant coach at Washington State, also coached at South Carolina and in Maine, the latter being his alma mater, where he was the starting goalkeeper and team captain for the Black Bears during his college career. Now he's coming to Jacksonville to coach the pros.
It's amazing. It's for a long time I've been coaching at the college level over 20 years, and been coaching straight out of college. So coaching it's my passion. It's what I love to do, and obviously we all want to play and be at the highest levels. And now with the women's game really taking off and growing around the world, but now even in the U.S. with the Super League now coming on board and more opportunities, I think it's kind of an exciting time to come in. So was really excited to get a call and be awarded this opportunity to join Sporting Jax.
Sporting Jax also announced the signing of 4 more players to the inaugural roster. All 4 have just completed outstanding college careers. The club announcing the signing of Maddie Kemp, midfielder who scored 28 goals in her college career at Kentucky and Gonzaga. Also announced midfielder Sophia Bowman, who scored 24 goals with 17 assists at Minnesota, where she was a 2-time team captain. Defender Paige Kenton started her college career at Penn, where she graduated magna cum laude with a degree in neuroscience. She finished her career at Delaware, where she scored a pair of goals, including one against her former team. And then it's Katie Sullivan, who put up huge numbers at Johns Hopkins, scoring 60 goals and adding 31 assists, both ranked second in program history. All 4 ready to begin their pro careers with Sporting Jax. Group tickets are now on sale for the Sporting Jax inaugural season. Groups of 10 or more can enjoy the best price for single game tickets. Gather your friends, family, and co-workers to enjoy a night at Sporting Jax. General admission for group tickets, just $22 per seat. Club seats start at $39 per seat. Call 904-863-KICK or go to sportingjax.com to order your group tickets for pro soccer in Jacksonville. Still to come, our youth soccer spotlight. How one local coach is paying it forward to kids in need. That's next as the Sporting Jax Report rolls on. The inaugural Sporting Jax kit has been unveiled, and now you can order your own. Use the QR code on your screen to order your official Sporting Jax shirt. You can also go to sportingjax.com to buy other official team merchandise. Time now for our Youth Soccer Spotlight, presented by the Bearded Pig Barbecue. Emerson Burris is here. Emerson, this week, a story about giving back from a local high school and Sporting Jax Soccer Academy coach. Really a good one.
That's right, Cole. Thank you so much. This past week, I had an opportunity to speak with a local coach who's packing more than just essentials for an impactful trip abroad. Coach Hallett is turning passion into purpose, one bag at a time.
Better. Thank you so much.
Oh, sure. Hey, I'm great.
What started with a few extra bags of gear has turned into a mission to make a difference thousands of miles away.
8 years ago, we were looking to get rid of some of our gear from Nice High School, and I had an idea with another coach about taking it to a country that could use it to donate to some kids.
Fred Hallett packed his suitcase and a whole lot more for a trip to Jamaica.
Ronnie is coaching with us now. He suggests we take it to Jamaica. Long story short, we decide it's a good idea, and then we just start to put the plan into motion.
From jerseys and cleats to goals and backpacks, the donations went to Ballas International and nearby towns, where Hallett also ran clinics and worked with youth coaches.
Jamaica is home for me, so being able to help home is always a great feeling. I felt as it was better use in Jamaica than it would be just sitting in boxes.
But it's about more than just the gear. It's about what the gear can represent.
The whole purpose of this was just to do something nice to give back to kids in need.
And that message, it's already making an impact here and abroad.
It'll be a morale booster, like you're saying, for
booster,
the kids that receive it, but also kids here to see, maybe I could do something like that later on.
For Hallett, it's a full circle moment, paying it forward to the game that gave him so much.
The game has done more for us than we've ever done for the game. So for us to give back is really the objective.
And this trip is just the beginning.
I think we'd like to continue to do more of these things going forward.
Coach Hallett is now back in the States, and when I spoke with him this week about his trip, he said it wasn't the usual tourist trip, but extremely rewarding.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is just another example of how the game continues to give back, not only here locally, but from Jacksonville out to the rest of the world. Really great story. Thank you, Emerson. We also want to let you know about a new series of soccer clinics being offered by the Sporting Jax Foundation. Starting today and running through July 26th, the I'm In Soccer series is offered to rising middle and high school players who want to hone their skills. These are valuable opportunities for players who may lack access to high-level training. They're held every Saturday at 10 a.m. at the KIPP Bold City High School, and the clinics are free. Go to sportingjax.com/foundation to register. For more on Sporting Jax in the world of soccer, join Head of Soccer Mark Warburton, Head Coach Stacey Balaam, and me every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010XL for the Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jax. You can listen on air at 10:10 a.m. or online and on demand at 1010XL.com. And be sure to join Mauricio, Becky, and me every Thursday night at 6 for the Sporting Jax Soccer Hour. We cover the entire soccer world, including Sporting Jax and the USL. Thursday nights at 6 on AM 930 Fox Sports Radio Jacksonville or the iHeart app. Still to come, the U.S. and the Gold Cup. What to expect as the tournament continues. That's next as the Sporting Jax Report rolls on. You can watch the Sporting Jax Report next Saturday at 12:30 on NBC 12. Now that the Premier League season has ended, we'll be moving around a little bit, so set your DVRs to catch us. You can also find us on demand on First Coast News Plus and the Sporting Jax YouTube channel. All right, let's bring in Mauricio Ruiz. Now let's talk about the Gold Cup. We saw the U.S. win big over Trinidad and Tobago to open the competition. What does the U.S. have to accomplish in order for the Gold Cup to be considered a success?
Honestly, Cole, dominance. I think, we've gone to end of World Cup to the finals and we've won them. But the team has not looked convincing. And the first game against Trinidad, it was not only a convincing result, but a pretty convincing performance from some new names and some new players that we really haven't seen. So we want to see those players, Diego Luna being one of them, right? Jack McClain being another one. They've done really well in the opportunity they've gotten. But going forward, can we see continuous dominance and get to a final in a really promising way that gives us some confidence going into what is going to be a really long pre-World Cup period?
And that's really the question, because there aren't a lot of opportunities for the U.S. to play in competitive environments between the Gold Cup and the World Cup coming here. And because there are so many big stars, Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Anthony Robinson, so many others who are not playing either because they're playing in the Club World Cup or they're injured or they just need a rest, whatever it is, we won't see the full 11, the top choices on the field for the United States probably until the lead up to the World Cup next year. A lot of question marks about how it will all look as we look forward to 2026. So much for you to keep up to date on in the world of soccer. You can stay connected to what's happening with Sporting Jax. You can follow us on X, on Instagram, Facebook. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on TikTok. Big announcements coming in the next coming weeks. Getting in, as we mentioned, we're just a little over 2 weeks until the start of training camp for the first ever women's professional team in Jacksonville. Thanks for watching the Sporting Jax Report. We'll see you next week.